लीजा ने खुद बताया कि उन्होंने 10 फिल्में की हैं और काफी थिएटर भी किया है। तो जब उन्होंने इतने सारे रोल्स किए हैं तो उनका फेवरेट रोल कौन सा है?
I think right at the moment it's very much Rosalind from As You Like It.
उन्होंने खासकर कान फिल्म फेस्टिवल का नाम लिया। उन्होंने हमें बताया कि उनका कान फिल्म फेस्टिवल का पहला एक्सपीरियंस कैसा था और वहां पर उन्होंने क्या क्या किया।
It was my first one, yeah, because I'm just out of the acting formation.
आज कई लोग मोबाइल पर फिल्म बनाते हैं, कैमरा को ट्राइपॉड पर माउंट करके बिना डीओपी के फिल्म बनाते हैं। क्या लीजा इस स्टाइल के फिल्म मेकिंग को जो है अप्रिशिएट करती हैं? क्या वो कभी ऐसी किसी फिल्म में काम करना चाहेंगी? वेलकम टू पॉडकास्ट बाय अमित अग्रवाल। आज का पॉडकास्ट फिर से एक बार है हाइब्रिड एडिशन। हाइब्रिड एडिशन क्यों? क्योंकि आप लोगों के मैसेजेस हमें कई बार मिलते हैं कि इंडियन अचीवर्स से तो आप कई पॉडकास्ट में मिल सकते हैं, पर इंटरनेशनल अचीवर्स से आप लोग मिलते हैं सिर्फ पॉडकास्ट बाय अमित अग्रवाल में। तो आज की जो हमारी इंटरनेशनल अचीवर हैं वो एक बहुत ही बड़ी हस्ती हैं। उनका नाम है लीजा। आप खुद ही देख लीजिए। लीजा Riesner. Did I pronounce your name right? लीजा। Well, लीजा जी का नाम थोड़ा नहीं बल्कि बहुत बड़ा टंग ट्विस्टर है।
Riesner.
Riesner.
I know. I'm German. Yes, you got it. Amazing. Yes.
Man, I finally got it right. वैसे लीजा जी की खिलखिलाती हंसी लीजा इंश्योर कर देती है, अश्योर कर देती है कि लाइफ में एंड में सब कुछ सही ही हो जाता है। Today we have with us Lisa Riesner from Germany. लीजा का नाम सही बोलने के बाद मैंने लीजा का दोबारा स्वागत किया। शुद्ध भारतीय परंपरा के अनुसार
So much, Amit. Namaste. I'm very happy to be invited.
And I'm very happy that you have one-on-one awardee editions. लीजा जो कि यूरोप में बेस्ड हैं, एक प्रोड्यूसर हैं, एक्ट्रेस हैं, एक्टिंग कोच हैं और भी बहुत कुछ करती हैं। क्या क्या करती हैं इसके बारे में खुद लीजा ने हमें बताया।
Yes, I'm an actress actually from Germany, half Austrian, half German. And I studied in Berlin acting the Chekhov technique. It's a Russian technique, very famous. Marilyn Monroe was using it mostly in her practice. And I studied it for 4 years. I got a diploma. And since around 2 years, a little bit less, I'm in the business. I've been playing the lead in Shakespeare's As You Like It in the Berlin Globe Theatre. There's a London Globe and there's a Berlin Globe Theatre. And I played it there. And I had another very, very interesting theatre. My first theatre job last year. It's a very famous German play, which you probably really don't know. But yeah, other than that, I'm mostly in film and sometimes commercials, of course. Yeah, and I'm very happy. We're just produced 2 teasers for movies where I played the lead, Hurra for Norge and Don't Shed a Tear. And I'm also, I think that could be interesting, I'm also a producer and a script writer.
Wonderful. You're doing a lot of many things in cinema and films.
Yes, exactly.
लीजा जो कि आज कई फिल्मों में काम कर चुकी हैं, क्या वो बचपन से ही फिल्मी दुनिया के पहले पर्दे को अपने रंग से रंगना चाहती थी? लीजा ने हमें बताया कि उनका फिल्मों की तरफ रुझान कब, कहां और कैसे शुरू हुआ?
I've been, when I look back at me being a child, I've been seeing myself like putting on costumes and performing for my parents, singing, dancing, entertaining. Sometimes I wore at home, a leopard costume or a lion costume that I got, from my parents. And I remember that. But then when I was around 12, 13, I had the vision actually to be a book, an author, a writer for books. Actually, like real stories and of real people. Was super interested in that, and then I pursued to be a journalist actually in the first place, and I studied in my bachelor rhetorics and speech. And I went to Brussels to be, in the European Parliament to write articles and everything. And then I started with meditation and yoga a few years back then, and I had quite some, let's say, enlightenments around just my awareness in my body and my breath and these things, and I just realized I have a completely different purpose than I thought.
तो योगा, मेडिटेशन और जर्नलिज्म से लीजा एक्टिंग की दुनिया में कैसे आई?
One year in an international year where people also live together and you do theater and you sing and you do body percussion, and stuff like that. And I really went into my body, embodiment, music, theater. We also were drawing sculptures, and I really connected to the expression part. And then it was clear to me when we did this theater play, and I actually had 4 roles, 4 different characters, and I was like, okay, I think I have a talent because I can just do that. I can just play 4 completely different characters. And I went to acting school straight away and studied for 4 years because I do think that having the skill set and being actually educated as an actor makes a big, big, big difference in the first place. So I really also encourage people to do the same. Because there are a lot of actors out there saying they're actors, but then if you look at their skill set and if you look at what they've been training, then the training is actually missing. And so to say, the acting muscle, like you have a muscle when you do a lot of push-ups, you also get these muscles, and acting muscle is like the same muscle. It's a little bit low for these people. And I'm always saying go and train. I'm also an acting coach. I just do that on the side a little bit to help people for auditions and everything. And I always say, let's go and train. Let's go and have some sessions so you get, used to playing different characters and emotions, and it becomes part of you, like you're drinking a coffee every day. And this was my journey. And then it started, and then there's a whole new chapter and door opened after the diploma, because then I went into the business, into the industry.
तो ये थी लीजा की एक्ट्रेस बनने की कहानी, या फिर यूं कहें जर्नी। तो आखिर लीजा ने इस एक्ट्रेस वाली जर्नी में अभी तक कितने साल गुजारे हैं?
I started in this international school or year that I went to, and that so I've been acting now for 5 years, and I've been doing before that a little bit of circus and theater improvisation and things like that. If you take that in, we're coming to 6-7 years, and I've been doing a lot of dance and performances. If you take that in, then we're already at kind of 8 years, but that was more in direction dance performance, which is kind of being on stage and being with the audience, but more through the body, of course.
तो देखा आपने, लीजा का एक्टिंग का सफर 1-2 साल का नहीं बल्कि कई सालों का है। इन कई सालों में लीजा ने कितनी फिल्म्स में एक्टिंग की है?
Around, let me count. It's now 10, and my 11th one is it's the first Danish movie is coming in end of October.
Wonderful. And what is this film about?
It's about a girl who's actually been abused by, for example, her mother, that is me, in the film. And she's very violent, so she flees and she's this little girl. She's 17. She has a big talent, and that is to sing. So she goes to this club, and this club owner sees her talent, and he really is like a father figure to her, and encourages her to go on with singing and to pursue this career. This is what the film is about, and I'm playing the evil part of being the mother. And we will see in the film if she starts to regret it, and if she has like a transformation going, or if it gets maybe worse, you know.
कहते हैं कि आज फिल्म बनाना बहुत ही आसान है, पर फिल्म को बेच पाना बहुत ही मुश्किल काम है। लीजा ने इतने सालों में जो इतनी फिल्में की हैं, इनमें से क्या कुछ फिल्में या कई फिल्में रिलीज हुई हैं, या कई फिल्में या कुछ फिल्में डब्बा फिल्में बनकर रह गई हैं?
Yeah, no, not. Some are still in post-production. I don't know if you're in a business, you know how it is. Like post-production goes sometimes really, really long.
Particularly during the COVID times, I have seen that films are in post-production for 2 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It can happen. Yeah. I still have like 2 or 3 one in post-production. Then one was hitting many awards at festivals. I got Best Actress, Best Film, and so on and so forth. It's called Alice. And then 2 ones are scissor reels, which means like teasers for a movie. So they will probably never see the full light of day, because this is for pitching. So you pitch them to Hollywood and to big producers, and they never see the light of day, potentially. And only if they're made into a cinema movie, then they will see the light of day. So, and other ones have been shown in small like events, but I'm just waiting for my first real cinema movie that you can buy tickets for, you know, in international cinemas. Yeah.
लीजा ने खुद बताया कि उन्होंने 10 फिल्में की हैं और काफी थिएटर भी किया है। तो जब उन्होंने इतने सारे रोल्स किए हैं, तो उनका फेवरेट रोल कौन सा है?
I think right at the moment it's very much Rosalind from As You Like It, because if you look at this play from Shakespeare, As You Like It, it's a princess, and she gets banished from the kingdom because her father got banished from the kingdom so that the other uncle can become king, you know, get all the power. So Rosalind dresses up like a man and hides in the forest with other banished people, and she really takes on the style of being a male, you know, and we play with some prejudice, with some, you know, things that we think everyone thinks men do and behave and be like. And she actually meets the man of her dream that she met once when she was a princess. And now she meets him as a guy, and they kind of have fun, and she tests him, you know, if he's really a good lover and a great husband potential. And he's getting so stressed, you know, but he thinks he's talking to a friend, to another guy. But then in the end, she dissolves it like a magician and actually turns it around, and everyone sees she actually has been Rosalind from the start. And it's a beautiful role because she's so smart. She's so smart, and she's fast, and she has a lot of good thoughts and ideas. And she's very funny as well, and energetic. And I got a lot from this character. And mainly, I have to say that Rosalind really opened my heart, because she's really, really in love with her prince, Orlando. And you can see that in the way she talks and she looks at him, and it's just adorable, because she really, if Shakespeare writes, I think what touches us from back in the days to now is that he really hits the topic of love, because I think he really knows what love is.
लीजा ने थिएटर भी किया है और सिनेमा भी किया है। दोनों अलग-अलग माध्यम हैं, और दोनों में ही अभिनय बहुत ही भिन्न होता है। आखिर लीजा को कौन से माध्यम में अभिनय करना ज्यादा भाता है?
It's definitely right now cinema. It's because the acting is more fine-tuned, and you know, you can do a lot of things with the eyes, and it's really about deep character work. and about the relationship with the other characters and the partner play. And in theater, things can be quite big and extrovert, and you need to shine through, and the voice needs to be really loud, and you gotta push through. And it takes a lot of willpower and a lot of you gotta open up, and it's beautiful. But in the camera, it's also a lot of work, of course, internal work and everything, but it's more fine-tuned, and the images are beautiful. If you look at what you created afterwards, I just find it, the light, the colors, it just blows me away.
लीजा ने गलत नहीं कहा, क्योंकि जब कोई भी अदाकार, कोई भी एक्टर थिएटर से बड़े पर्दे पर पहुंचता है तो उसका ज्यादातर पहला प्यार बड़ा पर्दा ही बन जाता है, जो पहला होता है ना। एनीवेज, लीजा से हमने पूछा कि आज कई एक्टर्स जो कि यूरोप में काम करते हैं, यूके, फ्रांस, इटली, जर्मनी में, जिनसे मेरी बात हुई है कई बार, वो कहते हैं कि वो हॉलीवुड जाकर काम करना चाहते हैं क्योंकि हॉलीवुड में काम भी ज्यादा है और पैसा भी ज्यादा है। आखिर लीजा क्या करना चाहती हैं? क्या वो भी हॉलीवुड जाकर काम करना चाहती हैं?
I think that the industry is changing a lot, and I've been just moving to Copenhagen. It's in Denmark, because I get a lot of jobs here. And then I decided to move here. It's also a really nice place on the beach directly, and I always wanted to live by the beach. But there is a lot of potential, commercials, independent films. So I can be an actress every day. And I think that the world is changing, and there's a lot of films produced in their own countries, in Germany, in Denmark, and a lot of international things are coming. So I don't even have to speak Danish. And then the other part is we can travel. So I can just take a plane, fly to London and do a film there, fly to Berlin, do a film. It's crazy, but it's true. And I think every actor also knows that the opportunity to actually be in a film doesn't come too often in a year. So because there are many actors and there are not so many films. It's getting more and more, the industry is changing, but still. And yeah, so I'm happy with actually being in Denmark. I don't see myself now going to Hollywood. I think just because the industry is changing so much with Netflix, with all the streaming agencies we have and streaming platforms, where in a low budget, amazing stuff is created in different countries in the world without being in Hollywood. And I actually do challenge this and say that even in a few years, we will not have something like Hollywood actors anymore. Because now through Netflix and everything, it's just been there for a few years, it will change and everybody can get famous.
लीजा ने एक बात तो सही कही, अब आप कहीं पर भी रहकर फिल्म्स बना सकते हैं। ये जो सोशल मीडिया पे रील्स चल रही हैं, ये क्या है? एक छोटी फिल्म ही तो है। एनीवेज, हमने लीजा से पूछा कि एक एक्टर की लाइफ में, एक फिल्म प्रोफेशनल की लाइफ में फिल्म फेस्टिवल्स कितने इम्पोर्टेंट होते हैं?
Yes, such a good question, Amit. It's a great question, and I'm telling you, so important. And I didn't know back then when I studied acting, I didn't know that. And then I realized being because I can just tell you, I just was at Cannes Film Festival, and you meet in one day, you talk in person to 20 directors, and you can meet them, you can have a chat with them, a coffee, you can have a laugh with them, you can introduce them. And honestly, I have to say, no one will look at your show reel or something. You just talk, and you just kind of see if you like each other, and what are your dreams, what are my dreams, what am I pursuing, what are my visions, and you share that. And then there might be a party at night, and a networking party. You can network all the time. Also, as a producer, I have to say, because if you want to do movies, you need sponsors, you need co-producers, you need equipment. So festivals are great because equipment companies come there, producers that are looking to buy movies come there. It's the best place to be. And of course, right now, European-wise, it's Cannes Film Festival and Venice Film Festival that just was. And due to my move, I wasn't at Venice Film Festival, but I was at Cannes. And I can tell you, I made so many connections, and I did so great networking there. And this is, these are my jobs for until the next year. It's just like that. So I really recommend to go to film festivals and to choose wisely to which one, and also to stay open, because if you're invited, if you get an award, you should definitely go.
तो सुना आपने, लीजा ने कहा कि एक फिल्म फेस्टिवल एक एक्टर की ग्रोथ के लिए, एक फिल्म प्रोफेशनल की ग्रोथ के लिए कितना इम्पोर्टेंट होता है। उन्होंने खासकर कान फिल्म फेस्टिवल का नाम लिया। उन्होंने हमें बताया कि उनका कान फिल्म फेस्टिवल का पहला एक्सपीरियंस कैसा था और वहां पर उन्होंने क्या क्या किया।
It was my first one, yeah, because I'm just out of acting formation, like about my exam for not even 2 years, so it was my first one, yeah.
And you loved it.
I loved it. It's stunning. It blows you away. It's really incredible. All the stars and red carpets and events and the people you can meet and the potential jobs you can get, and it's just incredible. And I actually really made the connections I needed to produce my sizzle reel, like my teaser for my movie. So it was very beneficial.
तो देखा आपने कान फिल्म फेस्टिवल लीजा के लिए कैसा एक आई ओपनर था। एनीवेज, आजकल जब सब कुछ ऑनलाइन है तो किसी भी एक्टर के लिए एक ऑनलाइन फिल्म स्कूल के दरवाजे भी खुल जाते हैं। पर क्या लीजा को लगता है कि ऑनलाइन फिल्म स्कूल एक इन पर्सन फिल्म स्कूल का स्थान ले पाएगा या रिप्लेस कर पाएगा, या इन पर्सन फिल्म स्कूल हमेशा इंपॉर्टेंट रहेंगे? इस स्टेटमेंट के ऊपर लीजा का क्या टेक है? लेट्स सी।
I can't even put in words how important it is, Amit. I can't even put it in words. It's so important, and there's so much you can do online. And if we've been looking at the pandemic, I've been also having Zoom classes for acting for a while. But if you don't have an idea about the craft, and if you don't have an idea what you're really doing, and if you're not an actor, you have to attend in-person classes. You have to have someone, sometimes when I went to acting classes, and now when I teach, I look people in the eye and I say, your eyes are stiff. Your eyes are full of willpower, but they are stiff. So please soften your eyes. And I almost can't see that through the screen. If it's a bad camera, I can't even see that. And this is something I can say, or I can see, wow, the shoulders are so tensed. And sometimes I can see it through the screen, but little things like that. And then of course, partner play. You want to get, like, young people need to get physical. They need to, for example, sometimes touch each other. And if they're like, we did a lot of stuff with we did a lot of martial arts and acting in my acting school, because my teacher says it's so related, this force and the tension that we build and this tension in the body that we have while we're fighting. So we're doing a lot of martial arts, Aikido and stick fight and fencing and everything. So it's incredibly needed. And if you want to make a difference and be a very skilled and high-class actor, which I count myself into, you have to take in-person classes. And I also recommend a full diploma, like a full exam for several years. And then you will show up and people will just look up to you because they know where you're coming from and they can also see that.
आज कई लोग मोबाइल पर फिल्म बनाते हैं, कैमरा को ट्राइपॉड पर माउंट करके बिना डीओपी के फिल्म बनाते हैं। क्या लीजा इस स्टाइल के फिल्म मेकिंग को जो है अप्रिशिएट करती हैं? क्या वो कभी ऐसी किसी फिल्म में काम करना चाहेंगी? हमने लीजा से ये भी पूछा कि लोग ऐसा क्यों करते हैं, तो उन्होंने यही कहा कि कई बार उनके पास बजट नहीं होते हैं, जिसकी वजह से वो ऐसे फिल्में बनाते हैं, या कई बार जो उनके पास बजट होते हैं वो चाहते हैं कि वो जो बजट है वो फिल्म की मार्केटिंग में लगाएं, फिल्म को कान, बर्लिन, टोरंटो, लोकार्नो जैसे फिल्म फेस्टिवल्स में ले जाने में लगाएं। तो लीजा का क्या टेक है इस स्टाइल की फिल्म मेकिंग के ऊपर?
Really depends, Amit, because my first thought was, if I do self-tapes, because everything is like self-tapes in Germany, it's called e-castings. Everything is with my phone. I have my tripod here in the back. Can you see?
I
So
can
I'm
see.
just like standing in front of my wall and doing all these castings for films and for commercials at home. Therefore, I would say a phone is extremely practical and does the work and can also give great pictures and great sounds. Okay, then I think there are people who just have to tell a story and they don't have other possibilities at the moment. And then I want to encourage them and say, take your phone and do that story, because you gotta start somewhere. You gotta produce, you gotta create, you gotta get that story out there.
अंत में हमने लीजा को बहुत बहुत थैंक्स कहा कि वो पॉडकास्ट बाय अमित अग्रवाल में आई। साथ ही साथ हमने उन्हें अनेक अनेक शुभकामनाएं भी दी B&Have 1-on-1 अवार्ड जीतने के लिए। नमस्ते के साथ।
Namaste, thank you so much.
तो ये थी लीजा रीजनर पॉडकास्ट बाय अमित अग्रवाल में। मिलेंगे आपसे अगले हफ्ते फिर एक नई हस्ती के साथ पॉडकास्ट बाय अमित अग्रवाल में। नमस्ते।